Okay. Good morning, one and all. I cordially invite and welcome each one of the viewer for fifth online webinar series session. Today we have with us Dr. Nitin Patil for delivering the lecture on understanding Viruddhahar, food incompatibility. So Dr. Nitin Patil is working as an associate professor in the Department of Agada Tantra at Mai Bhago Ayurveda Medical College, Muktasar, Punjab. Sir has uh, completed his BMS degree from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, and MD in KL University. And then Sir has attended many seminars, national level and international level. He has worked at Sukhayu Ayurveda Chikitsalaya, Kolhapur, under Dr. Sunil Inamdar sir for 6 months, and worked as research fellow in Avatar Ayurveda Vaidya Pharmacy at Coimbatore, and also worked as physician in Ayurveda Hospital of Arya Vaidya Chikitsalaya Pharmacy uh, at Pune, and then also worked as chief physician at Arya Vaidya Pharmacy and Panchkarma unit, and then in Budrani. And then Sir has attended many CMEs, international and national conferences. Sir has also published 2 articles for his dissertation on Bilwadi Agada and Dashanga Agada. Sir also is a very good clinical practitioner. He is practicing since many years. I welcome you, Dr. Nitin Patil, for this session on the behalf of Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysuru, Principal, and our HOD, Dr. Adarsh SG, sir. I will hand over the session to you, sir. Thank you so much, and you can begin with the session now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shivanand. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning, all, and welcome in Agada Update 2020. First of all, I like to thanks and giving me opportunity to Dr. Gajanan Hegde sir, Principal, Organizing Secretary Dr. Adarsh SG, and Coordinator and my dear friend Dr. Shivanand Kasanawar for giving me opportunity to share my views on understanding Viruddhahar food incompatibility. I myself with Nitin B. Patil, Associate Professor, Department of Agatantra from my Bhagwa Ayurvedic Medical College, Muktasar. Welcome you all in today's webinar. So dear friends, are we safe? Yes, this question is for you all. The world which we are living now is full of threat from each and everywhere. The main basic thing which needed for day-to-day life and to survive or to grow ourselves is food. And Ayurveda explains various importance regarding the food and their utility in our day-to-day life. But really speaking, are we safe in accordance to consuming that food in our day-to-day life? Or the source from where these foods are coming are healthy, they are not contaminated, or either if both are good, safe, our preparation methodologies, our eating habits, or our lifestyle changes, or variations in cooking or other interventions are making them safe or healthy. That's the things we are going to discuss in coming hours, and how to apply this in our practice. That also we are going to see and trying to explain. So today's topic, obviously for Viruddhahara. First, we will keep Viruddha as aside. We will just concentrate or focus on Ahara. So what is Ahara? Various Tikakaras and Grandhakaras given the definition of Ahara. The Dravya, which is indulged through the tongue, is called as Ahara. When we are going to the basic principles of Ayurveda, Ahara is mainly explained in the 3 pillars of Ayurveda. It is called as Trayopastambha. That is food, sleep, and celibacy. In that Ahara, we can mainly bifurcate them into 2 sections. like Hitahara and Ahitahara. Charak Sutra 25 Adhyaya explains the definitions and importance of Hita and Ahitaharas. So, what is Hitahara and what is Ahitahara? The one which gives Purush Vruddhikara Bhavas, or the one which nourishes the body, Dhatus, which gives Bala, Oja, Varna, and Pushti to Sharira, is called as Hitahara. And then what is then Ahitahara? Ahitahara is that which causes or which is responsible for Punarvyadhi or Rogadhikarana. That is called as Ahitahara. When it is coming with this Ahara principle, what is the impact of this ahara on gunas or vice versa, what is the impact of gunas on the aharas also? Obviously, you know trigunas, sattva, rajan, tamasa. Sattvic ahara is the demand or mainly indicated for each and every person. But we people, because of our taste or jiva lalasa, we are asking rajasic or tamasic ahara, which further leads to many complications or diseases or visha or other prabhavas in our body. When it comes for Viruddhaharas or in terms of Viruddhahara,
Hello, please wait. There is some inconvenience in the network. सर आप एक
हो गया अभी कैसे शेयर
ओके
स्क्रीन में
हाँ शेयर करें हाँ सर
दिख रहा है
ओके गो अहेड
सॉरी देयर वाज some need problem. So I was explaining about the Garvisha. Garvisha is Sakalamapi Vastujatam, the things which is given with anything, either krutrima or artificial or with the poisonous drugs or in day-to-day life, especially the media for Garvisha is Ahara, and that's why it become too dangerous because we are not easily able to bifurcate in between this normal food or Garyukta Vish or Garyukta Aharas, which is given to us in various ways. So we have to be very cautious while choosing or while going for ahara cooking as well as preparations or choosing our proper combinations for eating habitats. So Brohatra is specifically mentioned or given us some protocols or some SOPs to follow proper criteria while taking aharas and etc. That we are going to see first. So first, almost important principle explained by Charakacharya is Ashta Ahara Vidhi Visheshayatana. So these 8 factors gives us idea regarding how ethically we should follow or we should eat our diets and etc. things. Starting with the prakriti itself. So prakriti is nothing but the natural quality of the food or aushadhi or ahar dravyas. So it will be maybe guru aharas or lagu aharas or etc. That depending upon prakriti we should indulge or we should eat properly. Second important one is karana. Karana is nothing but the process or preparation methodology. It can be also correlated with the vidhi, vidhi viruddha or vidhis, how we can prepare our food or daily routine preparations in our kitchens or for any purposes. So what is the things are required for karanas? That sauchas, vidhis, agni, samskaras, etc. things are required for karanas. So simple example is that if we are procuring a milk and up to the end product of ghee, that is the end product of milk, we are going through the various samskaranas, like we are converting them into the curd, then churning and preparing buttermilk, and from that we are preparing butter and then ghee. So this all process is having specific sequences. If we alter in between that, or if we due to the lack of time or in shortcut we make the difference in that, the end product or the further product will be damaged, and that will become a dangerous for our health, etc. things. Very common example right nowadays, various peoples are not having time to prepare fresh butters, so they are procuring butter from the outside, from the market, and they are preparing in home the ghee. The quality of ghee will be suspicious in this matter, because the butter itself is either adulterate or pollushita, and that's why the end product will be differ from which we are preparing in the home. Coming to the next, Sanyoga. Sanyoga is nothing but the combination. So when combination comes, specific examples are given, that is madhu or ghee in equal quantity, or madhu and various other combinations like ushna jala, kshira and masya and equal quantity are dangerous or life threatening for our body. Sanyoga itself is a very much important among these 8 or among the 18 type of viruddhas, because it shows acute impact on our body. It given immediate reactions to our body, and it represent with the lakshanas. Though others are also shows the lakshanas, but it takes some time or chirkala. But Sanyoga, maximum time, it shows immediate impact, which in general practice or in clinical practices we are comparing with the food poisonings or different type of such conditions, which will be showing with the chardi or atisara, etc. Next is rashi. Rashi is nothing but the matra or quantity, or it is divided again into sarvagraha and parigraha rashi. So what is sarvagraha and parigraha rashi? Sarvagraha rashi is a general counting or general accommodation of aushadhi dravyas or ahar dravyas, whereas parigraha is specific quantity required. For example, if we want to prepare peya or etc. things, we need 1:16 portion of proportion of anna and water quantity. So this specification is called as the parigraha. Whereas sarvagraha, in general consideration, we are taking about the ahara. Coming next to the desha. As we know, Trividesha is explained like Jangam, Sadharana, Anupadesha. The desha which we are living or where we are born and brought up, we have to adapt a different or opposite kind of eating or different type of rasavirya or aushadhi yojnas in our day-to-day life. For example, the person belongs to Anupadesha need to follow Ushna or Tikshna type of Ahara Vihara or Aushadhi Sevanas for maintaining the balance which is against the kapha or against the snigdha type of qualities inside their bodies or inside their pradesh. This maximum time we see in metropolitan cities, the patients are coming and following same eating or lifestyles which desha they belongs. For example, the person, if suppose is from South India, and if he is transferred for North India or in Punjab or in like say Jammu Kashmir for their working, and there also if they are cooking their food into the coconut oil, or they are following the same preparation methodologies which they are following in South India or in the Kerala or in the Tamil Nadu, etc., then that may be changed. There they need to follow the Sarshapa Taila or different varieties of local that they share where they are existing similar kind of food habit. They have to be adopted, then only it will be beneficial of them. That's why maybe the globalization, whatever the foods or whatever the things are coming from the rest of the world, maybe not suiting us. Very best examples are pizza and burgers, and which knows they are making a very much health hazards for our generations. Next, coming to the kala. Kala is nothing but uh, two ways. Again, it is described, either it is a Nityaga or Avastika. Avastika Kala is especially explained for the Rogis, and Nityag is your Dincharya or like day-to-day activities. When it is coming for the Avastika, we have to follow a certain guidelines. Like in Navajoras, what kind of things we have to follow, or in Jirnajara, what kind of things we are following. Like initially, we should not take any Aushadhi Dravyas. We have to follow the proper Patya or Ahar Kalpanas along with Ushna Jalpana. And when it becomes the Jirna, maybe we can use the Paya or etc., which will be beneficial of that. Same way, Nityaga, whatever the Dincharya is there, or Rutucharya is there, we should follow accordingly. And that will be the fulfillment of that Kala Hetu Avashesha. Coming to the next, Upyog Samstha. Upyog Samstha is nothing but whatever the six things we followed up to now, and at the end, the jirna of whatever the food or aushadhi or ahar dravyas we are taking, to see or to observe that is under observation of upyog samstha. And at the end, upyokta. These upyog samstha and upyokta are dependent on each other, or upyokta is the consumer, or you can say the person who is following all these dietary restrictions or dietary ethics for his or beneficial of his health or etc. thing. So upyokta is always important, because depending upon upyokta, other seven criteria may varies from person to person, or kal to kal, or the desh to desh, or etc. things. So hope Ashtahar Vidhi Visheshaitan is clear for you. Next, when we followed this, only preparation of this and following these SOPs are not only sufficient for that. There is specific Ahar Vidhi we have to adopt after screening this 8 Ashtavidhi Visheshayatana. So what is the Ahar Vidhi? Again, Charkacharya explained this 7 or 8 points very specifically. Though they are very simple, very like if we go through that, it is very common sense that we should know everything. But we are making on each steps mistakes. So let's go first with the Ushnahara. So what is Ushnahara? Always Ushnahara is wrongly or maximum time we are misunderstand with the Ushnahara, because we demands as per the taste. Maximum time whenever we are visiting any restaurants or in the home also, whenever we are saying to family members to prepare any food, we are asking them with the taste, not with the fresh or hot ahar. So this is the main wrong things the daily routinely practiced by each and everyone. So whenever we are consuming food, firstly it should be very fresh, and it should be served very quickly after preparation without much time. Now you are asking, it is next to impossible for each and everyone, because a lot of people are going outside for work and they are carrying their tiffins and etc. And the new gadget comes and new electric inventions comes, that is called as oven and etc., which are making immediately within seconds they are making tiffins or etc. hot, and that itself causes or itself makes your food contaminated or become viruddhas when it will be go underwent with the various radiations and etc. My teacher used to say, until and unless there are fridge and ovens in the home, doctor will not die without patients. So the home which are having fridge and ovens, they are not healthy at all. This is the view of him, and in the practice, I whenever I'm asking the questions to the patients, I'm also getting same type of exposure or feedbacks from the patients also. Coming to the second, Snigdha. Snigdha is mainly related with the ghritas, tailas, or different varieties of snigdhata, which is helping to increase the dipana or pachana of the food itself. It again important for our proper mala pravrutti, as well as uh, making lubrication or snigdha to the srotas and etc. things. Various peoples, especially the girls sections or women sections, are hesitating to take snigdaharas or especially ghee. When we say ghee, at least eat 4, 5, or 10 spoon of ghee every day. If you are doing a proper exercises or etc. thing, then they are saying no. Though they will follow the proper guidelines of your workouts or exercises or etc. But when we are advising them with the snigdata or with the oil or at least with the ghee, they are saying no. A lot of people who are suffering from the cholesterols or hypercholesterolemia or what do you say, polylisthesis and etc. diseases, they are completely stopping indulging of ghee or etc. And which itself is a very wrong things. In some cases, maybe we agree we may need to reduce the quantity etc. But completely cut off or taking less or very less quantity of snigdahara may be dangerous for our body. So that is the main vidhi to follow the Ahara procedures. Third thing is Matra Purvak. Matra Purvak is very important because sometimes some people's, if the dish is very good or prepared nicely, then they will not bother about the matra until the akantapana. They will eat or drink that ahara, and which is very bad habit of the, various people. So we have to be very careful about our matra, especially ahara matra, and how many times or how repeatedly we should eat or we should serve ourselves throughout the day. That again depends upon various factors. Next, Jirna Virya Viruddhatva. So here two things are there. Until and unless the food or the previous meal is digested, we should not go for the next meal. And second, whatever the food or whatever the aharas or ahar dravyas we are choosing, that should be not will be Viri Viruddha. Because if it is a Viri Viruddha, then again it is causes various other impacts or diseases or mrityu lakshanas. So we have to careful about that. Ishtadesha and Ishtupakarna are the next Aharvi. Ishtadesha, here Desha itself is the place. So where you are eating, that place or that room or that area should be psychologically giving comfort for you, and it should be very clean and maintained properly. In India, especially we are taking care of this in homes and other things. But lots of time in the places where the industries etc. things are there, and there the peoples are may not get this type of ishtadesha. Ishta upkarnas, obviously, whatever the vessels or whatever the things are required to prepare or to indulge during from starting to end of your food preparations and food intake or etc. things, that all include into the upkarnas. So obviously, Upkarna plays important role. Various dhatus are explained in Ayurveda about preparation and etc. Nowadays, it's a very simple example is non-sticky cooking wares are there, and which itself is very hazardous for health. Aluminium, a lot of people right now there are a lot of less people are using aluminium, but decade ago aluminum will be the pleasurous metal to cook into that, and that itself having a lot of neurotoxins releasing problems with this related with the central nervous system. So that type of upkarnas we should avoid, and we have to concentrately follow either the classical one or the one which is properly used since days or decades together from our ancestors. We have to go with that. Nati Druta. This is the problem with the again working personalities. We are running, there is running race outside and everybody is in a hurry burry. Even we are having a time for everything, but we are not having time for ourselves, for eating and for resting. So a lot of people are eating by standing, they are eating by phone calls, attending what do you say, webinars or other things, and they are not having enough comfort time with psychologically smoothly they can eat for themselves. So that is not advisable in these things. Nati vilamba, some people are there, they are taking too much time, they are very slowly eating, which itself is a very bad habit because it may increase your capacity to eat more and more food and leads to abhimanya. That's why nati vilamba we have to follow. So we have to follow the proper time guidelines. So it should be not too hurry or it should not too late. Ajalpana. So excessive talk or excessive hasya or etc. things should be avoided during time of eating, which itself hazardous. It may create kasa or it may be difficulty for our urdhva avayaval. Last, we have to always keep in mind about our Agni, Jathra. So whenever we are eating, we have to keep in mind that how our Agni is working and what is the capability. So if we assess it properly and we can maintain the quantity or quality up and down, so that will be very beneficial for individual. This is the proper Aharvedi and Ashtabhedi Visheshayatanas. Coming to the Shushruta's version, he explained Dwadash Pravicharnas. So these are the typical advisory which is not indicated for the normal or common peoples. These are specifically indicated in specific situations or specific diseases or specific kalas or etc. things. And that will, what do you say, Pravicharnas, he explained in Swastruta Adhyayas. I think Adhyay, Sushrut Uttar Tantra 56 Adhyay. So first, Shita. So Shita Ahara, when it is indicated, the person who is suffering from pittas or the person who is suffering from Rakta Pitta or diseases which is having Ushna or Ushnartha, in that condition Shita or Shita Ahara is indicated. Ushnahara, obviously opposite of that, the person who is suffering with the kapha or kapvata conditions, the person who is suffering with the various problems of Urdhva Vyadhis, there he should be use this Ushna Pravicharana. Next, Snigdha. Snigdha is indicated especially in the Rukshavastha. Apart from that Rukshavastha, it will be indicated in Sosha, in person who are extremely involved in exercises or sexual activities or mrugayas or vyayamas or etc. things. There we can indicate this Snigdha. Ruksha. Ruksha Aushadhi or Aharas are indicated in the Meda Prakopita Vyadhis or where Rukshan is needed, like in various Vranas or where uh, sorry, where we are having various klina or etc. things are there. Klinata is there in the body. There we can apply Shushka Pravicharana. Ekakala. This is the unique things. I think various group of peoples or various communities are following this type of aharas or ahara practice in typical months or typical time of the years. So ekakala is only one time eating habit. It depends upon a person who is having suffering from the agni mandyas or other problems. Dvikala. Generally, India is the country where Dvikala Bhojan is practiced since many years. But nowadays, due to the culture, we are dividing into the three ahar kalas or maybe more than that. Like some dietitians are advising every 2 hours or depending upon the diseases the person is suffering from. So the Dvikalas are two annakalas that should be indulged by the person. Aushadipta, there are various aushadhi which where ahara is working as a vehicle for that aushadhi to reach or to work as a media. For example, the person who is suffering with the kasa swasa where more medicines or aushadhis are used, so that should be given with the aharas. Various pravicharnas, pravicharnas are also given with the aharas. Next is matrahitam. Matrahitam means the quantity which is very much needed in the person who is suffering from the ajranas, also the person who is suffering with the various kostas or various agnimandya type of diseases. Their particular matra is indicated and that he or she should follow during that time period. Dosha Shamna. Here, for Dosha Shamna, various combinations along with the Ahar Dravyas are given for maintaining or balancing. Here, Ahar Dravya is especially indicated with Rasapanchakas, like Pancha Aharasas or Panchvid Panchbhautikatva is applied here to maintain various doshas into the body. Vrutyartham. Here, this is indicated to the healthy one to maintain their dosha dhatu equilibrium inside the body. Okay. So in this way, we should maintain the patya and apatyas. So patya is the indicated things which are very beneficial for the body during the various kind of diseases, and apatyas which are contraindicated or which should be not practiced during various type of diseases. So coming to the Viruddhahara. So what is Viruddhahara? Viruddhahara is that which is aggravating or making utklishtata of dosha. It aggravates doshas from the sthana, but it will not expel them out of the body, and it will be become lean and it will situated into the dhatus, and that's it's called as Viruddhahara. Uttarotter, like Charaka, Shushruta, and Vagbata, explain same way, and they all are agreed that it is not completely evacuated. Only Utklishtata happened or sthana aggravation happened, and it will be maintained or leaned in the dhatus, and it will be vitiated with the dhatus also, and that's called as a Viruddhahara. When it is coming with the Viruddhahara, it is similar that kind of Garavisha type of lakshanas or that kind of presentations are there. So that's why it is compared always with the Garavisha. So as I told, Ashtang Hridayakara says, Viruddham api chaharam vidyat visham garabhum. So by indulging or by taking Viruddhaharas, we should see the lakshanas, that kind of Garavisha, and that's why it is called as a equal with the Garvisha, and it is sakalam api vastu jatam. So we can easily pollute or easily give with our day-to-day activities or day-to-day eating or drinking habits, and that's why Garvisha is too dangerous, and it should be going through Viruddhaharas. So right now we are going for the Bruhatray's explanation in specific kind of Viruddhas. So I choose that Viruddhas which still we are practicing. So there are a lot of references and a lot of quotations and other things are there. I skipped that one because a lot of things we don't know and a lot of things we are not practicing now. And what we are practicing, that only I'm putting it here for our discussion or for consideration. So Charakacharya, when it comes for Viruddhahara, it's said that due to Viruddhahara, it may mainly make or mainly causes Amavisha inside the body. So Amavisha itself is equal. The concept Amavisha is totally different from the regular Agnimandas or regular Ama. And to treat it, we have to do in different ways. So that we'll see in the treatment process. So when it comes with the common example that Shira and Masya. So right now you are saying we are not eating Shira and Masya, but whenever I sing any recipes or any cookery programs or etc., lot of times or always whenever they are preparing any non-vegetarian item, especially with the fish or chicken or mutton or any other kind of varieties of non-vegetarian items, they are mixing. The specific word is there. I forgot that word. And keeping mixing with curd or milk or such kind of other things, and it will be again mixed with the wines or vinegars and etc. and keep overnight or soak overnight, and next day it is prepared for that. Second thing is that though it is practiced directly, after preparation, the curry or the gravy, whatever this they are serving, the thick, what do you say, milk preparation they are serving from above, as well as onion cut with different type of salads mixed with either curd or etc. is served along with the side dish with the various vegetarian or non-vegetarian diets. That is the common scenario. As Charaka explained, it is either mainly Virya Viruddha because the rasayan these things are equal, so that's why it become Mahabhishanti and it may causes mrityu. So right now I didn't find any example that which happens with the mrityu, but I am having very much examples with which Kshira along with various other things causes various other problems. Like second example is Mulak Lashuna along with Paya, like Kshira. So you can take any Shakvarga which is contraindicated along with the Kshira, but in generally in routinely in home maximum people are eating Shaka Varga or Harit Varga along with Paya. So in Maharashtra, I belongs to Maharashtra, where in Kolhapur district there are a lot of farmers are growing very fresh vegetables every day, and every day they are with the roti, this green shaka and curd or milk. That is the routine diet in morning or in the night also. Maximum families are eating. So here, how many viruddhas are combined? One is with the milk, one is with the lavana with the milk, again mulaka or haritavarga or shak varga with milk, and it causes different. Though it depends, again, there are exceptions, but yes, those who are sensitive or balana hani, then various other problems are seen in the patients. Kushta, like Vicharchika, Shwet Kushta, Shwitra, etc., are very common. Whenever we are seeing with these patients, a lot of times in the during the pages also, whenever we are taking the histories and etc., maximum number of time, more than 50% of patients are consuming this type of Viruddhaharas. Though it will be very wrong to say that that is the only cause for that diseases, but it makes difference, or it makes the change in the treatment protocol itself. Because if the person or the patient is suffering with this kind of aharas or this kind of problems due to the viruddhaharas, then treatment principle should be changed, and they will not maybe giving result to the conventional treatments. So after shodhanas also, which is a punarbhav chikitsa, still we are not getting sometimes good results in various patients, especially in the skin disorders. So that time we have to take history very carefully, or repeated history, or we have to ask very properly, pinpointedly to the patients whether this kind of things they are doing or not, because this is very common practice in each and every family nowadays. Okay. The third is Amla Rasa Nalikera Paya. So Amla Rasa itself, Amla Rasa may be with the falas or with different type of ahar preparations. Especially I'm taking here that is Amla Rasa with the phala, that is like dadimas or like oranges or pineapples or etc. So we see in any ice cream parlors or etc. in the invention or to attract the peoples, they are making milkshakes with the different varieties of fruits, curds, milks, or different combinations they are preparing. Here in Pune, one famous Mastani is there, where milk, ice cream, and above that fruits salad is mixing, or top of that they are mixing the pomegranates. So it is exactly a best example of Viruddhaharas. Nalikera and Paya. I didn't say directly Nalikera and Paya, but Nalikera and ice creams are mixed, or various ice cream parlors are during the seasons with the various what do you say fruits. They are giving the various dishes like jambu, like custard apples, like nalikeras and etc. In natural ice cream parlors, here we are getting this fresh all seasonal fruits along with the payas or along with the ice creams and etc. Last but most important and always controversial, because Madhu Ushna, Ushna Arthasya, Ushna Jala, Madhu Sarpi, these all are important and somehow practiced maximum by so-called Google scholars or WhatsApp scholars. Madhu Ushna, like Ushna Jala and Madhupana, is considered to be Medohara, and it is somehow working out in the obesity or in such kind of persons. So one of my patient came with a problem of low back pain and knee joint pain. When I examined thoroughly, I consider it is with the Amavastha, like Amuvata. When I asked her, she didn't given me any proper history regarding the food. When 15 days and 1 month after also, there was no significant relief in any of the complaint. Then again I cross-checked, and I told to them, it is not possible from me, because I think you are not telling me correctly. And that time she told me that you please ask once again what you want to ask. Then I asked her how you are starting your day. So that time she told that I started my day with a glass of warm water, 1 or 2 spoon of honey, and half or one complete lemon squeezed into that, and this she is practicing more than 6 to 8 months. Immediately I got idea that maybe it is due to this the amausa or ama condition or ama which is created. I stopped her. Within 8 days she is not completely relieved with the pain, but at least markable change occurs in the pain, and now after 3 or 4 months she is almost all nil with the pain score. So it's simple, but people are not thinking that it is important while giving the history to you. It's your duty, or you have to make a specific kind of these questionnaires ready with you, and you have to ask accordingly, and then it will be helpful for proper diagnosis for your cases. Ushnarthasya, the person who is suffering from Ushna rogas or etc., he or she should not take madhu. Along with or after taking madhu you should not drink ushna jala also. So that is also a lot of people are doing, like various ayurveda practitioners are giving madhu as anupana, and knowingly or unknowingly people are thinking that we have to drink warm water after certain amount of medications. So they may follow your guideline that they will not mix madhu with ushna jala, but after some times immediately they will drink ushna jala. So you have to advise them after how much duration you have to wait for going for next ushna aharas. Either it may be ushna jala or tea, coffee, or whatever routinely ushna jala, ushna payas they are drinking. So that will be helpful. Madhusarpi equal quantity is considered as a Sayog Viruddha, and which may leads to Mrityu. Sushrutarya explained unique way. His explanation is totally different from Charkas and Bhagavatas. He has not listed many of things like Charkas and Bhagavatas, but whatever he explained, it is very differently and very clearly. So in starting only, he given a list of Ekant Hitkar and Ekant Ahitkar. So Ekant Hitkar and Ekant Ahitkar means the one ahara that we are taking, that is Jala, Paya, Ghruta, and Anna. So Ekant Hitkar, four main things he given, that Jala, Paya, Ghruta, and Anna. Anna is rice. So these are always Hitkar, Ekant Hitkar, as he explained. But nowadays these four are. I'm not thinking that it will be Ekant Hitkar anymore, because ancient days Jala is either it is from directly Akashiya Jala or the Kupi or etc. things, where it will be managed by the person or the family or the village itself. But now the Jala, either it is supplied by the corporations, or we are depend on the borings or with the mineral waters or the suppliers and etc. And we are not really sure about the quality of that Jala. Paya, simple example, the Paya, the menarche, the girls which are usually getting menarche at the 13 and 14 years now are starting at the age of 8 to 10. So this is the scenario of in India with the Paya. So we crossbreeds our cows, and with the beneficial to yield more and more milk, we injected them with the artificial or synthetic hormones, and that result itself for us or our children's with the various either endocrine disorders or hormonal imbalance or various other type of disorders. Even small kids, male kids are suffering with the female hormonal disturbances and etc. things. Grutha, already I explained about the Grutha, how the technique of Grutha or preparation of Grutha varies, and that gives the originally in pure form these are the really hitkaras, but the scenario right now we are existing, it is really questionable. Ekant ahitkar, here Ekant ahitkar is specifically mentioned for swastha, not for the deceased one, because agnikshara visha are indicated for certain rogis, where they can go or underwent under the agni treatment or char treatment or visha treatment. Visha treatment is a main contribution by Ashtang Sangrakaras in Uttar Tantra 40th Adhyaya, where the patient or rogi is marnasanna, and there is no chance of treating or healing them with any either with the Dhanvantari Sampradaya or with the Atri Sampradaya. Then, with the permission of king or the authority, Visha Prayoga can be done. We can see the impact of direct use of Visha, how it will be helping in that situation. So that was the rationale behind that. So it is not indicated for rogi person. It is only indicated for ahitkar, for swasth person. Next, coming two main things, that Patyatama and Patyatama and Patyatama. So in these two category, Shushrutacharya given the columns of individual aushadhi, or sorry, ahar dravyas, like which kind of shakas you have to take, which type of dhanyas you have to eat, which kind of non-veg items you have to eat, which kind of ghee or jalas or etc. things. So whatever the possible things in Patyatama category, he explained in that category. Similarly, we can see this type of category in Charakas in terms of Agradravyas, and in Vagbata also Agradravyas, where Aushadhi and Ahara Dravyas are explained. So in that Ahara Dravya also we can use it, and we can give specifically in specific diseases with that Ahara Dravya, which will be very beneficial. Example is the Shigru, that moringa. So we are using it here with the uric acid levels and etc. The moringa, what do you say, leaf vegetables, even moringa flowers, leha or what do you say, sabzi, is very useful for urdhvajatirugat rogas. That also we are practicing in specific seasons, specific uh, what do you say, Jawari, these things are grown throughout the sands and etc. things like Raktapurnamas and Meghnatas or Tandulias and etc., which will be useful in that seasons. So instead of going conventional vegetables, we can choose this type of vegetables under the Ahar Dravyas also, which is mentioned in the classics or etc. things. Okay, coming to the Pathyatama, in Pathyatama, especially this is mentioned, which is very best, and each and everyone should be follow this under the guidance of the physicians, like Vyayama, Ratri Shayana, Nivat Shayana, and Ushnodaka Snana. So here, obviously, due to the lifestyle and etc., whatever the possibilities are there, we have to see with the individuals, but this is called as the Patitama. Coming to the next, here Rasa Viruddha, Virya Viruddha, and Vipak Viruddha. Like three columns are made by Shushrutacharya as per the Shadrasas. The Shadrasas are divided into Rasa, Virya, and Vipaka Viruddha. In Rasa Viruddha, he explained around 15 type of Viruddhas. In Virya Viruddha, around eight type of classification, and nine type of classification in Vipak Viruddha. I only explained here few like Madhuramla, Madhur Lavana, which are Rasa as well as Viri Viruddha. So this type of column is very essential or very useful in diagnosis the diseases, because various these combinations are responsible or positive factors when we are seeing nidan of the disease in Chikistana or Nidana Sthanas. So while reading only we can make this table, and which will be helpful for our practice, day-to-day practice, to easily understand, and either we can make the patient under category of Viruddha Harjanita Nidanas, or either conventional like routine our Nidanas are there or not. So that we can bifurcate very easily. Coming to the Vagbata version, he already explained by Charkacharya. Same versions are explained by them. Certain additions are there, so that only I wanted to highlight here, especially with the Dadi and Lavana, or Paya or Lavana. So this is one favorite breakfast in India. Generally, people are eating tea with chapati, or milk with chapati. Chapati is prepared with obviously taila as well as lavana. Salt is already included, means poured into that flour. So that again become virudha. Since few years or decades, the chapati practice is gone down because the bakery levels are high, and that's why we are practicing butters, breads, or various type of other type of varieties of this type of items we are eating along with either with the paya or either with the tea, which itself is a viruddhahara. So this we have to ask patient immediately when we are starting your day, what kind of breakfast you are eating. Maximum people will not either eating healthy breakfast, they are eating such kind of things, or they are eating healthy breakfast but with the wrong ways, Like I told you about the various fruits along with payas or dadis or etc. Like Mulak Navnitapaya that already we seen. This is the routine. North India parathas are coming with the mulis and they are served with the Navnita or after that followed by paya or lassi or etc. is common practice for their routine breakfast. Sura Krushra Payasam is also one kind of North Indian practice. A lot of peoples, even in Kerala also, this kind of practice is going on or it becomes satmya also. Maybe the person is not suffering, but maybe the generations or others are suffering. So we have to take this consideration while taking the history taking. Ama and Pakwa. So this is the combination Ama and Pakwa Hara or Nava or Purana Dhanyas. So these kind of combinations are also prepared in various ways, which turns to be Viruddhaharas. Salila Abhyagaha Saha Sa Ushna Abhitaptasya Bhayapan. So the person who is exposed or who worked in the heat or sunshine and after coming from the heat, immediately if he is taking the bath or shower, head shower, or drinking paya like shira, then it will be the become Viri Viruddha or it is Viruddha Pariyar Viruddhas. So when we should not go with the conventional example. Very routine example that various corporate offices are fully AC air conditioners, and throughout the day we are sitting, and evening at 5 o'clock when we are leaving the offices, immediately from 20 degree we are exposing to 40 degree or 45 degrees. So that also is modern type of viruddha. We have to see very carefully how it is working and how it is impacting in that kind of persons. So the person who is sitting in AC is having different problems, and the person who is sitting in the sunshine, it is suffering with the different viruddhas. So overall, if we see all with Dhruvatrayas, and if we want to categorize, so this categories comes in front of us. That is Viruddha by mutually contradictory qualities like Paraspar Guna Viruddha, Viruddha by combination, that is Sanyog Viruddha, Viruddha by method of preparation, that is Sanskar Viruddha, Viruddha based on place, time, and dosha, and Viruddha by inherent nature, that is Swabhava. There is no specific reason, because of the Swabhava only it becomes Viruddha. So, if we want to really see with the classical way, Charakacharya explained 18 types of Viruddhas like Deshkala, Jatragni, Matra, Satmya, Dosha, Samskara, Virya, Poshta, Avastha, Krama, Parihara, Upchara, Papa, Sanyoga, Hruday, Sampada, and Vidhi Viruddhas. So these 18 Viruddhas plays very important role to understand them properly. So Desh already we explained in Ashvidha items also, but specifically when we are going with the Desh, we have to follow either if we are transferring, so how we can change in our dietary lifestyle, like Satmya and Asatmyas, how we are changing from one Desha routine of Aharas to other Desha. Kala, again, Kala here, it is mainly depends upon what kind of uh, uh, rutus or what kind of dincharyas we are following, and how we can face with the various preparation, food preparations. Right now, throughout the year, we are eating same kind of foods. Only there is specific change in celebrations, especially with the any functions are there or any festivals are there. That time only we are making changes. Otherwise, there is no Rutucharyas, etc. are followed by maximum families, or they are not having time to follow these things. So we have to educate people, and during the Ruti Sandhi only, or in the clinic also, if we uh, uh, give them the guidance with the charts and etc. So what kind of things we should follow in the 2 months, coming 2 months, then it will be very beneficial for them. Next is Jatragni. Jatragni plays important role because as per Agni, Ahar should be there. But right now we are eating as per our times or as per our need in the sense it times and my tiffin is with this, so I have to eat like this. Or sometimes females in the home are compelled to eat more whatever the remaining things are there. So it makes Viruddhas, or it may lead to Agnimandar, or may lead to Amas or Amavishas. Matra, again, same, the quantity of food or quality of food, how it changes and turns Viruddhas. We have to go with the proper discussions. Like Madhu and Ghruta, like Sarpi or Madhus, if equal quantities, then definitely it will be changed. Satmya, there are again three type of satmyas are there: pravar satmya, avar satmya, and madhyam satmya. So the pravar satmya is that shadrasa yukta, so he can able to, the person consume all varieties of food or all type of combinations without any disturbances, whereas our satmya is only ekra satmaka, and madhyam satmya is madhyam, like two or three combinations you may have. Even though satmyata is there, still Charakacharya or all Acharya says that they have to be stop that, and they have to be start with Padavsheshana protocol, and within 15 days to 64 days they have to come to the normal or hitaharas or sattvic aharas. Dosha, as per the doshas like Vata Pitta Kafas, and accordingly we have to choose the ahara dravyas. And like already we know with the rasa panchagas, how the rasas are definitely helping to maintain the equilibrium of the doshas, we should follow. Samskara, there uh, various Agni Samskaras, various type of things are required while preparation of the aharas, and that we have to carefully follow while preparation of the food and etc. Okay. Very Viruddha. So generally, paya is the mainly taking always with along with the phalas like amla phala we explained, or other with the shakas, mulaka or etc. So this type of Viri Viruddhas like Madhura amlas or Madhur lavanas or Shita viryas or Ushna viryas. So Dvivida, Ashtavida or Bhavida viryas are explained. So in that combinations, if virya is taken with the ahar daryas, then it will be very work as a viruddha in inside your body. Coaster, Trivida or like Chaturvida coaster, Jatragnis and etc. explained, and as per that we have to maintain our food. Especially Krur Koshta, Madhyam Koshta, and Krur Koshti, the person should not injure or have the food which is sanskarit with the Guru or Snigdhanas. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to pass or to have the Vatanulomanas and etc. things properly. So we have to maintain. The person who is having Tishnagnis or other Kostas, so they have to follow protocol as per their Kosta. Next is the avastha. Avastha is related with the what kind of routinely exercises or routinely things you are doing, and what kind of your ahar should be there. If suppose the person is doing daily routinely very proper healthy exercises and etc., so the vata is generally increased inside the body, so he has to be maintained the proper dietary lifestyle like Viruddha or Snigdhaharas, then it will be very good. Krama is related with the sequences. So when krama is come, so proper natural urges when we have to pass, then only we have to go for ahar intake. So when we get up in the morning, we have to get rid of the natural urges, and then we have to start with intake of food or etc. things. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for our health factors. Parihara Viruddha, again, it is explained with uh, typical type of followingness. So after eating certain things, we should follow certain kind of ahara or avshidra, then only it will be called as parihara. Like for example, if Shamnang or Shodnang Snepan is going on, then we should have throughout the day Ushna Jalapana. Then only it is called as the proper pariharas. Upchara. So when you are under a condition or the under medication or etc. things, so you have to follow proper protocol or pathyapatyas as per the upchara kalpana. Paka is the again considered with the cooking. Either it is two or three types mainly. Either it is a apakwa, either it is a atipakwa, or either it is totally waste, means paryushita. So in these three pakas, if ahar is there, then we should not involve it. So the pak should be proper, then only we have to eat it. Sanyoga Viruddha. So among 18 types, Sanyoga Viruddha is most important and most acute presentation, because this kind of things will immediately show results inside the body. For example, the person who is having allergens towards some things. So maximum peoples, especially Western peoples, are having allergy to the peanuts or some type of mushrooms. So if they or milk products also. So that's why vegan type of dietary adaptations are propagated in Western countries. Or peanuts and milk products, they are not at all using it. Or the specific restaurants they have started here. Nowadays, now in India also it is started, or various people are following that, like what do you say, wheat intolerance or lactose intolerance and etc. So these things we have to see carefully, because it causes viruddhas. Rudaya. Hruday Viruddha. Hruday Viruddha is a concept where what you wish that if you are not getting, and it will become Viruddha, means the one which is psychologically what you say, uh, pulling you or pleasing you, that kind of food you should eat. Apart from that, which is not like for you, that you should not eat it. Sampad. Sampad is not at all consumable. That kind of viruddhas or that kind of aushadhi preparations are there. Last but not least, vidhi. So already we explained the vidhi itself, vidhi ahar vidhis. So the ethics are there. We have to follow as per that ethics. And if you are not eating as per the vidhi ahara, then it will turn into the viruddhas. Apart from that, as per bal or dominancy of the rasas, gunas, and vigyas, Vagbhatacharya given the three or four classification like Vishamta, Samta, Ubhaita, or Swabhav Viruddhata. So it is again fall into this 18 categories only. So whatever explained by the Shushrutacharya, Vagbhatacharya, or Ashtavidhi Visheshaitanas are coming under these 18 categories. So, what are the probable actions when it involve or when the Viruddhahara is going into the body? What affects? So, it is showing the similar impact of Visha Garavisha. So, how? So, basic principle of the Samprapti is like that: Visham hi deham Sampraptam Prag Dusheti Shunitam. So, whenever any Visha things are entered into the body, it is first almost polluted to the rakta, and then doshas, and then dhatus, then hruday sthiti, and then oja kshaya or oja hampering, because it itself is a opposite characteristic of oja. And then balavarna hani, indriya nasha, and other symptoms or diseases will start. And thus it will be one. Though it is not acute process, or because Garvish itself is a chirachir kalachya, so it remains as a residual toxicity or cumulative poisons, and it shows, or it may not shows in that generation, but it will shows the changes into the genetic factors and etc. And then nowadays, that's why we are saying our ancestors were not having diabetes, but we are developed with this, or carcinogenicity, or now suddenly in families, a lot of people or elderly persons are diagnosed with the carcinomas or etc. In this, somehow we have to understand, we have to take a very proper or retrospective study kind of things regarding the ahar kalpanas or viruddhahar type of things properly. And obviously, it is a result of unsuitable combinations, contraindicated qualities, and faulty process of ahar or ahar preparations. Okay, so that's why ahar, we have to very much importantly follow the dietetic rules. So since years together, this food and the whatever the examples we are seeing, we are eating it. But that time we are following proper vidhis. That's why it was not that much harmful, but all of a sudden in some years it is showing the drastic results or very opposite results. So we have to see from where we make the changes in our typical proper dietary patterns, and we have to correct it properly, and then it will be helpful for. So hence the proper knowledge regarding such incompatible food is necessary to maintain the health of the individuals. When we see with the modern views or modern era, so it is called as the topography. It is a science which deals with the combination of food and gives us idea exactly how it is working. So this also a way which will be help us to understand our own classic or our own acharya's views, because a lot of time we are thinking that this combination is very simple and very not that much health effectively, but long run it may gives you a very hazardous impact. So simply modern how they are seeing the food or nutrition is with the protein, carbs, fats, minerals, etc. So they are saying that proteins are not good with the starch and carbs. So it reduces the cell metabolisms and lipase or etc. things. So that is not indicated to take protein, starch, and carbs. Alone three are okay, but not in the combination. So simple example they given with this one of the oil, and which very much famous. And nowadays, now the season comes with the uh, Varsha Rutu, and everybody we will run to the pakoda centers to eat this pakodas, which are dipped with the reheating oils since months together or days together, and we will eat this type of pakodas. So reheating oil or deep fried foods are causes for the HNE toxins, that is 4-hydroxytrans 2 nonenol, which causes various CVDs, strokes, Parkinsonisms, Alzheimer's, liver disorders, cancers, and various other disorders also, especially cell metabolism. So this kind of what do you say, modern views explains that these kind of Viruddhaharas may be work or maybe impact on our immunity. Mainly they are working on our central nervous system, maybe working on our GI system, all like circulatory systems and etc. And almost all systems or srotasas like dhatus, they will causes different varieties of diseases. So common viruddhas right now which we are practicing, which is explained in classic in different, but nowadays we are practicing, that is milkshake or fruit salads. So fruit salad is a very what do you say? Lot of dietitians are explaining or giving suggestions. Either you can go on the fruit salads or simple salads or sprouts or simple juices and maintain without ahara, means without any Ahara preparation, proper classical Ahara preparation. You can just take this and you will lose weight or you will maintain your body very properly, or you can detox your body properly. So that kind of suggestions are coming, and I've seen their records also with this type of charts. So intake of juice, ice creams, alcohol, after hot and spicy meals. So these are the nowadays very general custom in big parties or etc. So you have to drink either soft drinks or juice or ice creams along with the various kind of drinks or etc. Taking bath after food. It is a custom now. After dinner, various people are taking bath before going to bed, but it should be not completed your journey means avastha of Jatragni, and it will be causes various Vidhi Viruddha lakshanas inside the body. Taking cold water bath after exposure to sunlight. Generally, in this Grishma, and nowadays almost half a year is a Grishma Rutu only. So, whenever we are suffering, either we can put on the ACs, we can put the fans or coolers, or we can directly go to the bathroom for the kind of immediate bath and etc. things. Taking milk with tea, with coffee. So tea alone is a different thing. When the tea decoction is boiled and added with the milk, so milk itself loses its all healthy properties and it will be converted into toxic metabolites. So it will be very dangerous for cell metabolisms and etc. So taking milk or tea or coffee combination is very bad. Along with that, this type of practices after consuming the non-vegetarian items, like various peoples either they will go for the drinks like alcohols or etc after non-vegetarian food, or along with that they will drink coffee, tea, or milk or etc things, and that is the general custom they are following. Consuming curd at the night. One of my patient, now she is a very proper vegetarian and very pure eater, but only she is consuming curd since childhood. And at the age of 60 or 62, I think she developed dry eczema, like things in her leg. And after completely stopping, it take at least 1 year for us to complete cure her symptoms. Because whenever she used to start even consuming curd in the daytime also, maybe due to the desha or etc., she started, or maybe due to the less bala or oja or etc., she started immediate such kind of things. And after completely stopping of curd without medication, she was healed, and now she is free from her symptoms. Honey with hot water. So we explain about it. Cooked food refrigerators and again reheating. So oven refrigerators are the health hazards equipments inside the each and every home. So the food which we are stored in them or which we are making hot in them are really questionable. Either we need to use them or not. So, what are the Samanya Lakshanas of Viruddhaharas? So, Charakacharya and Shushrutaracharya and Vagbhatacharya are similar to them, and which are very much similar or mimicking with the Garavish's symptoms also, like Shanda, Anda, Visarpa, Dakodara, Vispota, Umada, Bagandara, Mada Pandu, Amavisha, Kilasa, Kushta, Santana Dosha, and Mrityu. So, if you see all these things, each and every dhatu, each and every dosha, each and every system is involved. So that much depth of the simple Viruddhaharas can penetrate inside your body. Even further, Vagbhatacharya says that it may be causes for Ashtamahagada, and it is having similar kind of lakshanas like Vishvata, and we should not delay in treating them, otherwise it will be too late, and the person will suffer with his life or her life. Samanya Chikitsa Sutra, as we know, only difference between the Garvesha treatment and here it is that in Garvesha it is said that Asvedya Shodhana. Here there is not that specific Svedana or etc. indicated. So here normal proper Maman Virechana, Samshmana and Vidivit Ahara, that is the important things. Because if we are doing the proper treatment also and if we not change the Ahar Vidhi, or if we are not following the ethics in the dietary or cooking methodologies, then it will be not of use. So we have to follow these basic guidelines, and whenever necessary, we will go under Hetu or Vyadhi Pratatgari Chikitsa. So here specific treatment or yogas are not necessary. It depends upon the person. It depends upon what Viruddhas and etc. things are there. So yesterday Savagimut sir told about the Bilvadi Agada, which is very much important in Amavisha Avastha, as well as Chardi and Virachana, like Alasak Visuchika and etc. also treated with that. So whenever the patient comes with the sign of Viruddha or with the food poisoning, etc., we can immediately start with the Bilvadi Agada. And if that Utkishtrata is there, then we can go ahead with the woman direction and other treatments. So the factors which are specifying ill effects of Viruddhahara, or the factors where Viruddhahara is not having any use or impact on these things. The person who is Satmya, so we've seen in the Satmyas, the person who is a Satmya with this Viruddhaharas will not having impact on them. The person, the Viruddhas, but which is alpa in quantity or very less or occasionally or once indulged, then it will not also having impact on your body. The person who is Diptagni, so Agni is very sum and very proper, which is capable of digest that Viruddhahara. For them also it will be not that much harmful. The person who is Taruna Avastha, in that Taruna Avastha, Viruddha or in young age, maybe that's why in after 40s, after 50s, these kind of symptoms are aggravating. In Tarunavastha, due to Bala, Varna and Oja, we are capable of to fight against it or to nullify the effect of Viruddhahara. The Snigdha, the one who is continuously indulging the Gritas or Snigdhaharas properly and maintaining with the Ahara Dravyas that will not suffer with the Viruddhaharas. One who is properly practicing Vyayama and one who is Balwan. Balwan here it is a Sahaj Bala, that is our own herd immunity that will really definitely fight against the Viruddhahara. So these 7 factors are obviously having no impact of Viruddhahara. Some exceptionals for general rules are there. So here I try to highlight you some Viruddhas, though they are Viruddhas, but still can we use them as in practice or etc. So I choose some examples from the classic itself. In Jatakarma Sanskara, Shushruta has advised to give Madhu and Ghruta in equal quantity with some herbs like Ananta Lakshan and etc. things to improve the immunity. And various the Kerala traditional Vaidyas also like Vishaprayoga or Kriya Kumudi text are also supporting this statement. So this is the practice where we can enhance the immunity of the newborn baby. So second one is the when we are using madhu for vaman dravya. So though vamak dravya like yashti madhu fanda or other preparation like payas or etc. are sukoshna or ushna, and still we are mixing with them and we are giving them for klishta avastha or kapha avastha. That also it will not consider as viruddha because it is not going in the process of jarnata or in the process of digestion. Before that apakwa avastha only it will immediately come out. So because of that we can use in such condition or in such process madhu with a hot or ushna dravyas also. As I told the Kriya Kaumudi, Sri V.M. Krishna Menon mentioned that the combination of buttermilk like takra with unripened banana, like which is considered as viruddha, can be administered for baby to develop immunity instead of causing harm. So these are the practicals. So already it is they are following by practicals. So we have to also take consideration of that. And none other than one chapter itself is dedicated by Ashtang Sangrakara in Uttar Tantra, that is for Vishaprayoga in various diseases or various problems. So we have to keep in this mind, and whenever we are getting chance, we should apply this in ICU patients or some patients who are not clinically able to be fit or recovered from any proven methodologies. There we can try our agadas or this type of Vishaprayogas. So, coming with the conclusion, I will say Viruddhahar is a unique concept of Ayurveda. Unique concept in the sense, though we know or a lot of people are aware, but scientifically none are explained in such a way about the classification types, their lakshanas, and vidhis or ethics or rules in different scenarios, especially with the Rasaviryas and etc. explained by Shushrutaracharya is a unique contribution in this concept of Viruddhaharas. So to find out rationally regarding concept of Viruddha, there is need to conduct research. Obviously, always research is needed, not to establish our own science or to prove on our own science, to clear or to enhance our own knowledge or to our idea or acceptance regarding our own shastras. Okay. So health education and propagation of Ayurvedic principle of food should be done definitely. As I told, various charts and etc. should be prepared. I have prepared some charts, and right now again I got a lot of new ideas to prepare again. So we have to make such kind of charts when we are taking the history of patients, and that should be very helpful for us to easily cure the patients without any expensive treatments or investigations. So what we are what we eat. So prevention is always better than cure. Hence, we should follow the dietetic rules to maintain healthy lifestyle. So, to conclude my webinar, I just want to mention that Anna is Purna Brahma. So, we have to worship it thoroughly. We have to eat it or we have to cook it with your mind, then only it will help for our body. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitin Patil. It was very informative sessions we had, and the session is now open for discussion. So there are a few questions for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shruti Biradar, uh,
Hmm.
she has asked, nowadays the people are taking madhu with ushna jala in
Yeah.
obesity
Hmm.
as a day-to-day practice. So what is your actually it is a sanyoga viruddha. So what
Yeah.
is your opinion regarding that, sir?
No, opinion. It is not my opinion or any other's opinion. It is classically clear-cutly mentioned that it is a Viruddhahara. So we should not practice it.
Okay, sir. And one more question you have already answered, but
Mm.
even though I will read it, Dr. Anjana Reddy has asked that when ghee and honey they are taken, both are matra viruddha, but in case
Yes,
of neonates, so that
yes.
is given in equal quantity. The same you have answered already in the last slides. She
Yeah.
has asked. That is the question actually. How we should give in neonates.
Yeah, obviously, actually, it is very alpa matra. That is the main thing, and it is not given for longer duration. It is given for Navjata only, one time, and or maybe for few days only. So that's why
Yes.
maybe it for immediate stimulating the immunity for newborn. So that may be the reason. That's why it is not working or hazard for the baby.
Yes, sir. And then another question. Uh, Nowadays, we are consuming many Viruddhaharas. Can we treat say them as Garavisha?
Um, uh, at the time of treatment principle itself, I told that Garavisha treatment is somewhat different, and Viruddhahara treatment is a little bit different. In Garavisha, there is specific indication Asvedya Shodhanam, and then there is a preparation that is a Tamrabhasma and Suvarna are mixed and given in specific quantity, and it will be helpful for Gara Vishakta person. But same treatment principle or that Tamra or Suvarna will that much not necessary, I think here. Either we can go with the proper Shodhana and then according to Samshaman Chikitsa, but main thing here is required is change in the food habits or following the proper Vidhi Aitan.
Yes, sir. And then one more question. In Basti, we use Ushna Taila along with Madhu.
Yeah.
Whether it is also Viruddha.
Same how it is working with the Vamana, same way it is working with the Basti also. In Basti, I think for Matra Basti only, it remains for longer duration. For Kashaya Basti and other Bastis, it immediately within Kala, it coming out. So apart from Matra Basti, it is not remaining longer duration inside.
Okay, sir. And another question. If Alpa Viruddha Ahara, whether if it is taken for a longer time, then also it will act as a Viruddha.
Ah,
Uh, uh,
yeah, obviously it is a good question actually because Alpa Viruddha will not maybe cause like Garvisha it is told that Chirakalacha. It will become lean in doshas or in dhatus. And when the favorable condition comes, then only it will show symptoms. And that
yes.
symptoms also very less, it will be not produced as a disease itself.
Okay, sir. Again, that itself will be converted into Dushi Visha.
Yeah, Dushivisha, definitely. That is Avastha, like yesterday arguments were told. That it
Yes,
will
sir.
not become Roga, it will become Avastha.
Yes, sir. And again, Pavitra Biradar has asked example for Upachara Viruddha.
Upchara Viruddha, there are different examples are there, especially when there is Vyapatas are there, Panchakarma Vyapatas and etc. So that time we have to follow certain guidelines, like how we are following the Sansar Karma, like Kruta, Kruta Yusha, Kruta, Kruta Mausalasa and etc. things. Same way we have to do in the Upcharas.
Yes, sir. Okay, there are other questions we will answer in the chat itself. Fine,
Yeah.
sir. It is a very good, informative session for all of us. Uh,
Yes.
I wholeheartedly welcome my thanks. Extend my thanks to you
Thank
for
you very
giving
much,
such.
Principal Sir, Adarsh Sir, and Dr. Shivanand for giving me
Hmm.
opportunity to express my word. And thank you, the audience, to be with us on the live webinar. And hope this session will be help you in your practice or in your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I extend my thanks to all the viewers for attending this session. And I also extend my grateful thanks to our principal, Dr. Gajanan Hegde, and the organizing secretary, Dr. Adarsh SG, for cooperation in the organizing this session. Tomorrow we'll be having Dr. Anita Sharma, professor and head of the Department of Agada from National Institute of Ayurveda. We'll be talking on role of Ayurveda in management of addiction. alcohol addictions and all. So Madam runs de-addiction center in NIA. We'll be looking forward for Madam's lecture tomorrow evening 5 o'clock. Right? Okay. I hope all the viewers will be joining for tomorrow's session. Once again, I will thank each one of you. Thank you so much. I will end the meeting. Thank you.